The film begins in 1982 at Freddy's Pizza, a lively arcade full of flashing lights and laughing kids. Amid the buzz, a girl named Charlotte calmly waits for her beloved animatronic. As she sits alone, another girl politely invites her to join her group. Charlotte agrees, grateful for the offer, but soon her attention drifts toward a man wearing a yellow rabbit suit, moving strangely through the crowd. He has already taken one child. Terrified, Charlotte begs the surrounding adults to notice, but they brush her off, too preoccupied with their own conversations. Realizing no one will step in, she steels herself and slips into a shadowy alley behind the restaurant. There she finds the person in the yellow suit by the kitchen sink. Charlotte attempts to pull the child to safety, hoping the person in the yellow suit won't see her, but the moment she reaches for him, he vanishes from sight. She gathers the limp boy in her arms and sprints for help. There, the man in the yellow suit named William abruptly reappears, brandishing a knife, and charges after her. Charlotte screams, urging the boy to wake up. He jolts conscious and runs to his parents just as the diners finally notice the commotion. Charlotte collapses, stabbed in the back, tumbling into a dark chamber where she dies before their eyes. At that instant, the marionette rises from the shadows, holding her lifeless body as if mourning her. Time moves on. Authorities investigate, yet William avoids punishment, insisting Charlotte wandered into a restricted area and met with a tragic accident. The case is quietly swept aside. In the present, Vanessa still battles recurring nightmares about her father, the man in the yellow suit called William. She finds some comfort in her growing connection with Mike, who calls to check on her and suggests they spend more time together. Their friendship deepens as they continue hanging out. Meanwhile, Abby grows suspicious and teases Mike about his date before heading to school. A painter named Jeremiah stops by to repaint the house and warns Mike to keep his distance from Vanessa, claiming she acts odd. Mike stands up for her, explaining that Abby has been through enough already, and he's trying to protect her from unnecessary stress. On the school bus, Abby tells her classmates about Vanessa and the yellow rabbit suit, mentioning that the rabbit's body still rests inside Freddy's. The other kids mock her, dismissing the idea entirely. In robotics class, the teacher reminds everyone that their project is due Friday, threatening that a single missing assignment will cause the entire class to fail. He makes no effort to hide his disdain for Abby, especially now that her family's history with the animatronics is local legend. He proudly declares that the school teaches real robotics, subtly ridiculing her. One boy, impressed with Abby's skills, jokingly suggests she repair the animatronics herself, sparking an idea in her mind. That evening, Mike prepares to go out with Vanessa, reminding Abby to behave. When she asks to visit the animatronics, he refuses, promising he'll fix them soon and encouraging her to make friends her own age. Hurt, she watches a scary show on TV after Mike leaves, promising they'll talk later. Mike waits at a restaurant for Vanessa. She arrives beautifully dressed, explaining this isn't just a casual meetup. She shares that she has been attending classes to distract herself from her emotional trauma. Mike admits he struggles with how attached Abby is to the animatronics and how difficult it is to help her move on. Vanessa advises him to be more honest with her. He, in turn, tries to reassure Vanessa about her nightmares. When Mike returns home, Abby is gone. She left a note explaining she went to find her animatronic friends. Panicked, Mike heads for Freddy's. Meanwhile, Abby discovers the animatronics are missing. Mike tries to comfort her, suggesting the spirits may have finally found peace and moved on. To distract her, he offers her a toy. She chooses a lifelike, interactive one. Before they leave, Mike notices a strange poster accusing Freddy of murder, along with a phone number. Elsewhere, a group of teenage ghost hunters arrive at Freddy's to film a fake paranormal documentary. Their leader, Lisa, boasts that this will be their creepiest shoot yet. A boy named Michael, who invited them, meets them at the entrance. He gives them a tour, showing multiple versions of Freddy and the other mascots. When Lisa hears eerie music echoing from the back, she insists on investigating alone. Michael watches her leave, smirking. Lisa follows the melody to a room with a giant gift box beside a music box. She slowly reaches to turn the music off and listens closely. Suddenly, the lid bursts open, the marionette leaps out. Animatronics across the pizzeria begin awakening. Michael laughs, revealing the group was part of his plan all along. Alex, who slipped into the water beneath the building, is dragged under by a lurking animatronic. Michael finds Lisa, now possessed by the marionette's spirit. When she lunges at him, he bolts outside, grinning. The next day, Abby attempts to work on her robotics project but can't focus. She tries quietly reaching out to her animatronic friends, longing for them. Mike notices her distress, but has no idea how to help her let go. Meanwhile, Vanessa tries following Mike's advice to focus on herself and goes cycling. But she begins seeing visions of her father everywhere behind street signs, reflected in windows. Panicked, she ducks into a locker room and, convinced her trainer is her father, pulls a gun on him. After class, determined to face her trauma, she gathers her father's old belongings. She closes the curtains and confronts the memories that have haunted her since childhood. She sees her younger self defying him, insisting she no longer belongs to him. But her memories twist. She sees him chasing her, sees the moment an animatronic seized her, hears his words telling her she will always be his. She imagines killing him before suddenly jolting awake. That night, as Abby sleeps, she receives a strange message from Chica, asking for help and giving the address of the original Freddy's Pizza. Abby sneaks out and follows it. Inside, the place appears abandoned until Chica steps from the shadows. Abby rushes to her, thrilled to be reunited. A few days later, Vanessa stops by Mike's house, looking for him and Abby. She finds the toy in Abby's room just before Abby jumps out, startling her. Abby explains that the toy led her back to Chica and the others at the old location. Vanessa tries warning Mike, but he brushes it off, insisting Abby must be talking about the radio he gave her. Then Mike reveals something shocking. He called the number on the poster and learned William committed more attacks information Vanessa had hidden from him. Hurt, she assumes Mike sees her trauma as something he needs to solve, and an emotional wall forms between them. Later, Mike drops Abby at her tech competition and promises to return. He then drives off in a hurry. Vanessa goes to the old Freddy's, where she confesses she knows about Charlotte, the same girl from years ago. Charlotte, now controlling the animatronics, tells Vanessa she will remove the barrier, keeping them trapped. Vanessa realizes Charlotte has taken over Lisa's body and is coming after her. At the competition, Abby presents her project, but her teacher purposely breaks it in front of everyone. Devastated, Abby returns to Chica and cries about what happened. Chica gently tells her she doesn't need a project, she can be the project, but it will require Abby's help disabling the barrier that confines them. Abby writes down the code. Charlotte captures Vanessa and forces her to reveal the full code, threatening Abby. Vanessa eventually gives in. Abby enters the code, releasing the animatronics. Chica takes a taxi to Abby's school in disguise. Meanwhile, Mike visits Charlotte's father, who reveals he believes his daughter was murdered and has spent years gathering evidence. Mike learns about the water ride tunnels beneath Freddy's. The only functioning system left is under the original building. When he calls the school, he learns Abby has already left. Before he goes, Charlotte's father hands Mike Charlotte's old music box, explaining that it was the only thing that calmed her when she was alive. Mike hurries to Freddy's and finds torn-apart animatronics everywhere, including Charlotte's original form. He begins searching frantically for Abby. At the school, Abby arrives with Chica. The teacher assumes someone is wearing a costume and disqualifies her. Later, when he returns for his keys, he hears a noise. Chica drags him inside and kills him when he tries to run. Mike reaches the old pizzeria and discovers Vanessa tied up. She warns him Charlotte is inside. Mike attempts to cut Charlotte's psychic control over the animatronics, while he and Vanessa head toward the security room through separate routes. Vanessa reveals Charlotte's final days, her growing rage, and explains the only thing that soothed her was her music box. Mike reveals he has it with him. He falls through a rotted platform into the water tunnels, narrowly escaping an animatronic attack. Vanessa warns him many animatronics are now hunting the parents who ignored Charlotte the day she died. Mike tells her to find Abby while he handles the rest. Meanwhile, with Chica's help, Abby wins the competition. Prototype animatronics activate. Mike finds the central chamber of Freddy's and contacts Vanessa, but the static becomes unbearable and the line goes dead. An animatronic smashes into Vanessa's car, sending it flipping, but she escapes and races to shield a family from the rampaging machines. Charlotte, realizing Mike and Abby's plan to stop her, activates additional prototypes to pursue him. Mike manages to disable them one by one. He calls Vanessa to say everything is shut down until he notices a single active signal glowing on his map. At his own house, Charlotte, now wearing Chica's body like a suit, has kidnapped Abby. Vanessa's car breaks down, but Jeremiah finds her and drives her straight to Mike's home. Vanessa rushes in, only to discover Charlotte has possessed Abby. She pleads with her to stop. Before Charlotte can harm Vanessa, Mike bursts in and plays the music box, weakening Charlotte's influence enough to free both Abby and Vanessa. But more animatronics power back on, surrounding them. Michael appears, revealing himself as Vanessa's brother, Michael Afton, and proudly declares he will continue his father's legacy. Suddenly, the animatronics from the previous movie storm in and attack Michael's creations. Mike had visited them earlier, and they followed him here to help. Freddy and Chica assist in dismantling the hostile machines. All the animatronic systems begin collapsing, and they shut down for good. Michael attempts to flee but is knocked down. Before they vanish, they warn Mike that once they leave, he will be freed. Vanessa is left alone, unaware that Charlotte's spirit is watching her. Quietly, almost invisibly, Charlotte slips into Vanessa's body. This is the end of the recap. Please like, subscribe, comment. See you in the next recap.